All right, so here I am after probably the upset of the year and Whitaker versus Dracus Duplessis. I thought it would make for a good video for me to talk about Dracus Duplessis' journey to where he is now. I mean, he beat Robert Whitaker, and I personally think that Robert Whitaker could beat Izzy right now. So, um, Dracus Duplessis started his journey in EFC Africa. The South African was already involved in MMA before this, though. Um, Starting with judo, then the wrestling, and getting into K1, even getting a second degree black belt in kickboxing, and he was really dedicated because even to pursue his dreams, Dracus Duplessis dropped out of university. But back to 2013, when a young Dracus Duplessis goes into the EFC Africa event and wins four in a row, which leads to him being on a regular EFC card against a guy named Soldier Boy. No, not that one. A guy who had some good submission game who later ended up in the UFC, even though he ran into Paulo Costa, and that didn't end too good for him. He was decimated by Costa, but still a good fighter in terms of EFC. And yeah, Dracus Duplessis was, I guess, too inexperienced guy. Soldier Boy had been a former champion in EFC, and that led to Dracus Duplessis' first loss. But he didn't really let that affect him. He kept going, and a few months later, he got up into a next to an 8 fight winning streak. You know, against guys like RoboCop. That's a guy. That's a hard guy to beat. That was a hard guy to beat at the time. But RoboCop also was the guy that ended his streak. But still Knox proceeded to recover from this fight because after two more wins, he was now in the UFC, making his debut against Marcus Perez. Uh, I think he was pretty trash. Pretty sure he was pretty garbage. But Dracus showed why he was garbage, ending him in the first round with a good right hand, I believe. Then having a heated fight against a few other fighters, just going through like Brad Tavares, then conquered the Gorilla and Darren Till. Then proceeded to fight Mr. Windmill himself, the no stand-up game, Derek Brunson. And then keeps going, keeps beating these guys. Now up to today, where he runs into Robert Whitaker, the Reaper of the division. And in a big upset, he beats Robert Whitaker. And I think it's crazy how he went from losing to a guy named Soldier Boy to fighting RoboCop to being in the UFC to now facing the king of cringe himself, Israel Adesanya. And I think he has a chance here. He has a chance here. I personally haven't been liking Adesanya's fights in a long time. So I'm kind of hoping that Duplessis can win, take the belt off of Izzy, refresh the division, because it's kind of trash. This is probably the worst division or close to it in the UFC right now. They really need some top contenders, and I think Duplessis could shake it up if he can get a win over Izzy. And that's all.